Hello. It's RocksAlot on a Sunday, so Sunday after lunch. And a few different little things to do today. Got some nice green Gaspeite. Chartreuse. We've got some of the green and brown turquoise. Some nice greens here. It's got that sort of black purpley line through the middle. Piece of smoky Kingman. We're going to give it a try. Already stabilized. And what else? There's another piece of smoky Kingman. That back, that's stabilized as well. And then we've got possibly some of the blue moon, which we will show off in a little bit. But for right now, that's what we're going to do. So I think I'm just going to take you straight over to the wheels today. And we will go from there. So what are we going to start with? Let's keep it all on here for right now. And these are the ones we're going to work on today. So let's come over to the wheel. Hold on for a second. Oopsie. Don't want to lose you already. Turn it around. There we go, that's good. That looks good. Right about there looks good. So, what to start with? That's a good question. Hey everybody, welcome in. Got some stuff to do here. And, oh shoot, we can get it wet, why not? Sweet. See if we can get it out now without dropping it all off. Yeah, so that's what we're going to work on today. But that's one way to look at color. So we got some really nice pieces in there. Welcome in everybody. Thanks for coming in. Simon, Megan. Let me have a look who else is in here. Douche. Or Touchy. I should say, how's everybody doing today? It is Sunday, and we're going to do some cutting of some turquoise, a little bit of Gaspeite. I have a really nice slice of turquoise that I did this week that turned out far, far better than I thought it might. And we're going to do that. But first, I think I'm just going to get straight into it. And we'll do either this piece or this piece. I think we're going to do this piece. This piece I just chopped off the top. This was the top of it, so you guys missed that, but chartreuse green. I'm going to cab that up right now. Let's give that a go. So, working on the Diamond Pacific Genie. It does make a little bit of noise. Works with a geyser system. So it's just air pumping and spitting water up onto the wheels, and that saves me from dying of silicosis. Plus a mask, which I'm about to put on. And we're going to stick to one glove today. Hi Marianne, hope you're doing all right. Welcome in. If anybody could hit that first like button, it'd be appreciated, just to get things going. And looking forward, what are we trying to get today? I think 17 subs, and we'll hit 900. That'd be fantastic. So let's do some cutting though. A little bit less noise. There we go. Not bad. Something's not quite there yet. Bubbling noise. There we go. Perfect. Alright, here we go. So just going to cap this out. Starting with the 80 grit, going to go around the edge. It is a bit sort sort of cheese wedgie, so we're going to have to change that. Thank you for that first like, I really appreciate that. It at least shows that it's working. This shouldn't take too long. This is naturally this color. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Green chartreuse mud. We're on a little bit later today. I think I might say this probably here at the beginning, and then maybe, I don't know, I might mention it again. But I come out here for my mental health. And today is one of those special days where we woke up and the carpet was all wet by the bathroom. And it's Sunday, so there's not much we can do about it. And I have no idea what's causing it. So that's going to be my adventure for the beginning of the week. But in the meantime, while I can't do anything about it, I can be out here and hang out with you guys. So that's what we're going to do for a little while here. Wish there was more of that in there, but I do like this little line going through and a little bit of webbing there. So, which way do we go? I think we're going to come down this side. Hi Jambi, welcome in. Hi Saran, welcome in. It's not hard. I mean, it is hard, so it kind of backtracks. Quartz is a pretty hard material, but you can shape it, just like amethyst. It is pretty hard as far as the Mohs scale, but either with the right equipment or a lot of elbow grease, you can actually end up doing it with sandpaper, but it's not easy. But you could probably do it with a disc or a Dremel. I'm going to have to take some of this down. There's nobody around that has lapidary equipment, Sam? I mean, so I grew up a little, I took holidays up there. My family were from, I had some living in Wakefield and Leeds growing up, and then also the other side of the Pennines to the Lancashire side. So I know they do the shale fossils in the shale pits and off on the coast. Not necessarily Blackpool, but off that way where they go and find fossils and ammonites and dolomites and stuff. So I'm surprised there's not somebody locally that is it the Bahamas or Trinidad? Where are you from, Joanne? Jamaica? St. Thomas, beautiful. I have not been. I had friends that went when I was a kid, and I had one friend from when I went to college that lived in St. Croix. I'd love to go. It's so expensive though. Yeah, so I'm just sort of rounding the top while we're talking. But yeah, I had my aunt and uncle both taught in Liverpool. My uncle went to grammar school in Liverpool, and actually was there the same time that John and Paul. They were actually a little bit younger than him. They went to the same school. And he didn't really know them that well. He just thought John was really weird. That's looking nice. I'm glad we went from this side. Hi Freckle Cat, welcome in. So I have a prompt on my phone right now to ask a question. It wants me to put a sticker up, but I'm not going to do it because I can never get back from them. But it says, what's the best part of a birthday party? Oh, okay. Ah, I got you. You're not actually from Liverpool, you're from the island. And so, yeah, I would imagine that would be hard to get hold of equipment then if you're on the island. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. We're just out here cutting a few rocks. We started with the Gaspeite, which is just this gorgeous chartreuse color, neon green. Thank you. Yeah, I should pack all my stones up and head over to St. Thomas and tell them to some of the jewelers over there. So I'm still trying to figure out how what platform I'm gonna use to sell my stones on. I have a pretty good idea. Hi, Husky. Wow, well that's exciting. Did you volunteer to be the treasurer yet? That's a really good way to do it. So if anybody's wondering how to get into lapidary and well, we'll look you up. I'm not really on Facebook. My wife is though, so we'll look you up. See, I assume your name is the same on Facebook. So yeah, if you're new to lapidary, you want to give it a try, or you want to see if you really want to get into it, probably the best way to find out is to find one of your local gem and mineral societies or clubs and join it, because they'll have all the equipment. It does cost you a little bit per month with your dues, but you're not putting out a couple of $1,000s for something that you only do occasionally rather than at least once a week, I would say. So. All right, pretty happy with this. I'm going to move over to the other wheel right here. Hi, everybody. Well, I don't know how your cooking is, Husky, but I hope they don't throw you out after Christmas. I'm a decent cook. Decent enough that we'd rather eat at home than go out. Going around, I gotta get this down a little bit more on this side. It's a little too high. Just evening the girdle up all the way around. Hi everybody, welcome in. Really appreciate you coming in. The only kind of ask I would ask is if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up, maybe subscribing. I go live on Sundays and Thursdays. And I really appreciate you being here, and that's my only ask, because it doesn't cost any money, and I'm not here to get money out of people. That's not my business right here. I'm really just sharing what I do and the hobby that I have, and hopefully you guys can learn something from me, and I can learn something from you. That's the main aim. And so far it's been going really, really well, and it's been growing really well. Far better than I thought it would this year. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? Pretty happy with the shape. I got a little facet right there. We'll just roll that over real quick. This is pretty soft material, so I'm not going very hard. Thank you, Sue. I really appreciate it. That's really kind of you. Before you know it, we'll be flying in. Honey, St. Thomas, here we come. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Super happy you could join. We got a few things to go through today. Let's have a look. I'm working on a piece of the Gaspeite right now, but we're going to work through some of these and see what we can come up with. I got one special piece on there, which I've had the material now for a couple of months, but I just cut the first slice of it, and it looks fantastic. I have no idea how it's going to cut, and if it's going to hold together, I really have no idea. It's really nice, and we'll get to that probably on our third or fourth stone. So now I'm just going around this really sharp edge down the bottom corner here, and just taking that off really light. And that stops it from chipping out. And also, I believe when you get into setting a stone, having that little gap on the corner where your bezel will hit your back plate, it'll stop the extra solder that's on there cracking your stone out. What kind of an artist? We have a few artists on this. If you don't know Jen B, that's in the chat here, please go over to her channel and follow her. She does some amazing silversmith work, and she's very kind and generous and helps out people within the jewelry community and the resellers. And even if you don't like what I'm doing or what she's doing, she's got this special little dog called Jet right now that she rescued, and he's quite the character. Alright. What kind of art do you do, Sue? Okay. Well, murals, you're starting to get a little bit bigger there. We have a few friends that have done it locally. And they put up giant grids and grid it out. So that looks pretty good. A little bit high right there. Roll that, and that's good for this one, I think. And I'm going to do a quick picture for my album right there. And let's move on to something else. I could get really dirty, everything's, well, let's do another green. Let's do one of the darker greens. Really nice stuff. Does he like swimming? So, yeah, around here you can't really take the little dog swimming in the lakes. Wow, it sounds like you do quite a bit there, Sue. Which piece do we do? We'll just start with this one and see what comes of it. Thank you. Yeah, I got some nice pieces in here today. I don't know if we'll get into this. This is some of that Persian or Iranian turquoise. A lot of pyrite in that. I need to finish this one off. And then we have a piece of Kingman that's okay. And I have a really nice piece of Kingman right here. Got to tidy that up too. But we're going to do one more piece of green right here. I like all the different colors in the veins in this. Alright, here we go. This is pretty hard, so we're actually going to move over. Yeah, that's pretty vibrant. And then I'm going to give you a sneak peek. You ready for a sneak peek? Boop. That's some stuff we're going to get to. I have never cut it, and we're going to give it a try to see how well it cuts, to see if it even stays together. So we're going to do this green one first. E-Dog. How are you, B-Dog? Just trying to figure out your name and I got it. I'm a little slow on a Sunday, but I got it. Hi, Blanca. Welcome in. Wow, so many people today. That's fantastic. Gives me a little bit of anxiety. And wondering if I should just chop the top of this off. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Well, we're gonna come back to this one. I'm gonna come back to this one because we're gonna chop it. But I don't want to leave you. I've only been here a couple of minutes now. So let's do that Kingman. Let's do the ugly Kingman first. And see how that comes out. There is sort of a vein going through here. We're gonna come back to that green. The first green was really nice. But rather than waste that top, I think it's best I cut it. Alright, let's give this one a try. And this one definitely stabilized. In fact, I gotta put my mask back on. Because as much as I love you guys, safety comes first, right? Alright, we got that on. Where'd it go? There it is. Hi everybody, welcome in. I hope your weather's as nice as our weather out there. It's gorgeous out here. I almost feel like I should be out there instead of in here. It's actually, I could get the machine outside. That'd be neat. Just going around the edge, bringing it in. Hi Jose, welcome in. Yeah, you're right. So, starting to look at new materials, digging into it. It's been around a couple of million years, or formed that long ago, and nobody's seen it until we're looking at it today. That's pretty amazing to me. We got a funky shape going on. It's called a Genie. It's Diamond Pacific. Just in my opinion, the best machines out there, but you know, there's a lot. There's Cab King, Highland Park, Lawton. There's a lot of different machines out there, but somebody owned this for probably 20 years prior to me getting it. Alright. Let me do the back a little bit. And we're going to take this kind of stone we're looking at. Yeah, it's a cab machine. It's called Diamond. Well, if you look up Diamond Pacific, you'll see all of their equipment. And some people like the Pixie. This is a 6-inch wheel. They also have a Pixie, which is 4-inch wheel. And then they have the big one, which is an 8-inch wheel, which is a Titan. But I think this machine right now, new, is like $2,400. I paid $2,000 less for it, but it is a used machine, and I have had to, you know, do some maintenance on it too. Not a lot. All right, let's bring this down and see what we got underneath there. I'm going to go back over to this wheel just because it takes off less. It'll stop me from taking off too much and losing something that I may want to keep. And this one has a little less color than the next one we're going to do. Just sort of rounding off that top. Not going to be a high dome of any kind. Opal and turquoise. mean, it depends, really. So, you know, you show me a good cornflower colored sapphire and I'm pretty impressed. But I don't do any faceting. And real rubies are impressive. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. Not too bad. Nothing spectacular, but it's pretty nice. Let's shape it up a little bit. To get a little bit of symmetry. Hi Marzina, welcome in. Elder. Well, I should say Aubrey, right? Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. Hope you're both having a great weekend. I just reshaped that just a little bit. I'm going to go through a little bit of turquoise today and a little bit of gaspeite. So yeah, that'd be really nice. I don't know if you know Justin Thomas. So if you don't know Justin Thomas, go over to Black Opal Direct on YouTube. And somewhere in his videos, and he's got a lot of videos, he's probably the best out there, at least the best on YouTube, or at least the most popular on YouTube, I should say too. But he did an epoxy table with, I don't know how many opals he put into it, but it's absolutely fabulous. I don't know if I could put the opals into the table like he did. Alright, so I'm just sort of rounding around the stone, bringing it down to about 4 millimeters on the edge, and turning it as I go. And that gives it just a bit of a dome on it. Just like that. And we'll take a quick look at it. Funny, I'm working this sideways. I'm not even in front of the wheel. I got the phone in front of the wheel and I'm off to the side, so that's my excuse for any screw ups. There we go. It would be a very expensive table. There we go. That's looking much nicer than I thought it would. Doesn't help that I got blue gloves on, but let's take a quick picture of that. There we go. Uh-oh. That's the wrong one. There we go. So, let's move over to this last wheel on this one. That'll give us 2 done. We're going to go out. We're going to cut the other one. Here comes a little extra light. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. My goal for today is to hit 900 subscribers. That would be fantastic. And then as many likes as you guys want can give in the thumbs up. But if you do want to see what we're cutting during the week, this week, it'll be Thursday around 5:30 in the afternoon. I usually go live on Thursdays and Sundays. And if you hit that subscribe and hit the little notification bell, when I go live, it'll pop up on your phone or whatever it is you happen to be looking at or watching with. That's it. That's my only request. And my other request is please enjoy yourself. Love to hear from you in the chat. Love to hear where you're from, or at least close to where you're from. It's amazing to see how many people pop in from all around the world. Fascinating to me. And then at some point we're gonna hit 1,000. I don't know when it's gonna be, maybe early next year, and at that point I'm gonna have to find something to reward somebody or several people that have been subscribed to me. I Now, that's all the sort of metals coming out. Pretty gunky. Yeah, it's very cool. It does, actually, you're right. Got all the little blue oceans, little islands going on, almost sort of like a mangrove area, either Australia, maybe some of the Caribbean. Pretty nice stuff. So just going over the areas that we did before. Make sure I don't have any facets on there. I'm going to roll that edge one last time. There we go. I hope so. I'm Husky. I'm amazed that I've even got to where I'm at. I think this year we started off with 87, so I'm gonna leave that for the next 3 wheels. So that's 2. That's not bad. Where are we gonna go next? Let's do. Got that one done. Let me just finish this one up real quick. Another similar one. I've done most of the shaping on this already. So I just put it into the mix to finish it up. This one had a lot more metal in it. Hey Manju, welcome in. So this one, a little bit more metallic. Sorry, the phone's playing games. There we go. Pretty nice. Hi everybody, welcome in. Thanks for watching me instead of the football. I am impressed. If you could just hang out for a minute or two, I'd really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, go ahead, hit that thumbs up and give me a sub. That'd be fantastic. And I'm going to leave that for a little bit. I don't know if we're going to take all these to the polish today or not. We'll see how the time's going. I know, but it's what's on. That's pretty nice. All right, that's 3. What do we go to next here? I think we're gonna do. Let's try this one. A little uglier, but maybe a bit more picture stony, and we'll try and bring it in. Yeah, I played rugby a lot. Too much. Not too much, I just played a lot. Tighten this up. There we go. Yeah, I played a lot of rugby Husky. Now my nephew just started playing. I think he's what, 15, 16? And he just got his first try last week in a real match. And then so yeah, I did volleyball I did everything. I played everything. I played a lot of 2-man volleyball down in, where was it? South Florida. 2-man beach volleyball. But I'm sure that's what you do, maybe 2 or 4 man over in the islands too. Let's get this under here. You can see the dust coming up. I do have a mask on, I do have glasses on, but I still got to be careful. Have you seen some of those women's rugby players of late? The ones from the All Blacks, I think, so New Zealand. Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's a little odd, you know, growing up playing cricket too. Because to us a foul ball in cricket is live, as long as they get by the wicket keeper. Look at that, it's field hockey. Yeah, so my nephew just went and played a match close to where my mother lives in England, and his mum came over for a cup of tea this afternoon. Of course, she went back to pick him up, and I was telling my mother she should go on the sideline and start screaming obscenities and having my nephew's grandmother screaming on the sideline during his rugby match. Because she used to come to mine and scream. So I thought it would be funny to have his grandmother come over. She won't do it. She won't embarrass him. I think it would be funny. Oh. Marcini, thank you. Actually, what I told my mom to do was, because it's going to be freezing, so the freezing cold weather that we got last week is about to hit Europe and England and Ireland and up into Scotland and then over to the rest of Europe. So they're going to be cold this week. But I was telling my mother, so my nephew's grandmother, to take a water bottle to him at halftime. I don't think he'd be too impressed. Alright, kind of got a shape going on this one. Welcome in, everybody. You now we're starting to see a little character come out of this. I tried to zone it to the middle, which I think I did a decent job. And now I'll keep shaping this up. This one's a bit of an odd shape. Not bad. Just different. See that reddy brown coming off. I want to keep some of it. There's a couple little bugs on this side here. I don't know if you can see. There's a little bug in here, right there. But I think I can round that off now. This is actually really nice. Much nicer than I thought it was going to be. anybody has some suggestions or requests for a certain type of material. If I don't have it, I will find it, and we will cut and shape it. Maybe, Sue, I will find a piece of quartz. I have some amethyst around here, but it's pretty hard, so I'm not going to do it today, but maybe in the next live we'll do a little thin slice of amethyst or quartz, and I'll show you how hard it is. Right. I got to get over here a little bit, excuse me. I need to get on top of this stone so I can see what I'm doing. There you go. Alright. I want to get a little bit of a dome to this. Turquoise is okay to do a high dome with. The problem with it is that it's not the hardest material in the world. So if you have a big high dome sticking up from a ring or from a cup or a bracelet, it can easily get dinged or donged or ding dong, dinged. Yeah, dinged. Sorry, I almost started singing there for a second. So yeah, if you knock it on a really sharp corner on something, it will mark it. The pendant high domes don't matter too much with turquoise, because the likelihood of you banging it on something, well, you know, you're probably going to hurt yourself if you're banging your necklace pendant. There's probably something else going on, but bring this down. So yeah, high domes on rings for opal and turquoise. I'm not a huge fan of, just because, you know, you want your stone to last and you don't want it to get marked up. Let's do the back here, just flatten that out. Thank you everybody for putting those thumbs up in. I'm getting closer. I think I'm at, what are we at? 2100 or 2200 hours, something like that. And I don't even know what my subs are. I don't know what got added today. I'm hoping a few get added today. Trying to hit that 900 mark. Alright. That's nice and smooth now. And let's see how we did on the framing. Earrings, it should be okay. Yeah, I think it only counts once. So I appreciate you trying. Sharing it out is good as long as you're sharing it to people that you know may be interested in it. Or at least that's what I've been told. The algorithm that they have on there, if you're sharing it out to people that aren't necessarily interested in lapidary or rocks or jewelry, or just art in general, then it won't do the algorithm too well. I may be wrong. You know, you watch videos from everybody telling you what to do and what not to do, and really they're just putting out the what to do and what not to do so they get hits on their videos. So if you really want to get popular, do what to and what not to do. Which is kind of what I'm doing with my rocks, but it's not quite the same as working on a platform algorithm or IT. Wow, awesome. 888. That's fantastic. So what do we got? 12 more to go. Like I said, we're going to hit that, I assume, if they change everything, I assume we're going to hit 1,000 in the next 3 months or so. And that's going to be quite the marker to get by. And when that happens, we're going to have to figure out how to reward a couple of you for all the support you guys are giving me. I really appreciate it. I wish I could give out something to everybody, but we'll figure it out. It may be a stone, or it may be, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm already ahead of myself with where we're at today from where we were this time last year. Oh, shoot. 2 more. Wow. That'll be quite the goal. 900, huh? That'll be spectacular. That'll make my day for everything else that's going on. There we go. There's a little bit of a mishap going on in the house as far as the plumbing. I think it's the plumbing and the bathtub. And yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to do about it or how we're going to afford it, but we're going to do it, and it'll get taken care of when it gets taken care of. But I'm praying they don't have to dig into the foundation or anything to fix the thing. Then we may be having a rock sale real quick. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's really nice. So these little parts here, I don't know if they're quartz. I guess they're not. Just darker variations and some mossy color in there as well. Still got that little dinkum right there, and it won't come out. Hey, Steven, how you doing today? We're doing pretty good. I saw you're going to be coming on live later on this evening. So anybody that likes a little bit of humor and some resin work, yeah, go visit Steve later on this evening. Right there in the chat. I'm going to go around, get my girdle correct. I still got to get that out. It's still there. So, because that's still there, I've got to decide how I'm going to take it out. Do I take down this edge, or do I completely take that off like that? I kind of like this color for the contrast, though. Alright. Are you going to stamp it out, Steve? Or are you going to melt it down? And unless it's a surprise, what kind of silver coin? Like a Morgan or a Peace dollar? Or like a Walking Liberty? I guess it has to be big enough. It has to be a big enough coin that you're going to make a big enough ring out of it, right? Unless you're doing a pinky ring. Alright. Still there, but it's almost gone. I gotta get a little bit more. Sorry, I thought this little bug was going to come out much easier. There you go. And a little bit more. Alright, we're almost done with this one. At least on these 3 wheels. sense. A little funky up here. I'm just finding little crevices that I didn't know were there, and I gotta get them out. That's good. Means I gotta bring this down to the girdle again. Hi everybody, welcome in. If you'd like to see more, I go live on Sundays, Thursdays in the early evening, Eastern Standard Time, so around 5:30 tea time. And then also on a Sunday around 1:30, 2 o'clock. It was a little late today because we were pulling up wet carpet, which is just so much fun. Alright. I didn't know I was going to have to bring this in quite as much as I just have. That looks good. That's good. Okay. Quick picture. Pretty much happier than I thought I was going to be on this one. I'm wondering if I should take that in, but right now we're going to leave that. I like that middle. You can do it, Stephen. And I think you said you're Michigan, so I don't know if that's mountain time or not. Alright, that's really nice. Very happy with that. Thank you all on that one. One more sub. No kidding. Thank you all so much. I just quite honored, really. And thank you all for being here. Get a little bit of extra light on there. I didn't know I didn't have on this whole time. And we'll do one of those. So yeah, these are really pretty. Different variations of Kingman right there. This is actually a green Gaspeite. I don't think it's from Canada though. And this is a Mexican turquoise, but really nice colors on that one too. And I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I do just because of the muddy look there, but I think it looks really nice with the focal point in the middle of the stone there. Yep. Well, like I've been saying, Steve, we're gonna hit 100. I mean 1,000 soon, and I'm gonna have to figure something out as far as a giveaway. All right, I think we're gonna do one more dirty piece of Kingman, and then we will do the surprise one. Let me get this up a little bit. Yeah, excuse me. That's not bad. Alright, here we go. This is gonna get mucky. Gonna get mucky. So this one, it's got the seam on the top, really nice color. And I'm going to take this back off first, I think, and flatten it out. And then we'll come down from the top and see what we got. Let's add some water. I don't usually use bottled water for this, but I got nothing else in reach, so here you go. A little extra water. And this one, I know, I wish you could smell this one when it gets cut, because I don't know what they used for their stabilization, but it's pretty strong. I revealed mine on Halloween. No, I'm not allowed to. My wife won't let me because I'm too damn good looking, and she's afraid of all the groupies. No, it's actually a mix of quartz and maybe some hematite in there. So a lot of times with turquoise, there'll be quartz in the turquoise where they find it. And there'll also be metals, so hematite, pyrite, copper, very occasionally silver. And I assume there has to be gold from time to time too. Bit noisier. So, you know, the blue color from turquoise comes from the copper in the phosphate. And the more copper, the bluer it is. But if you look up copper mining, you'll find that not only do they find copper when they're mining, but they also find other metals there as well, including gold and silver. I have not come across a piece with gold in it yet. This one smells more like, almost like a diesel mixed with a plastic. Some of them don't smell very much at all, but this one's pretty strong. And usually what they do is they'll thin out an epoxy of some type and thin it out with, I don't know, some sort of acetone or maybe a fuel of some kind. And then that thins it out so much that when they put it in a vacuum, all that epoxy gets sucked into the stone. It doesn't change the color or anything like that. It just gets sucked into the stone. And then they either just leave it to dry out. Sometimes they'll heat it a little bit just to dry it out. Again, it doesn't change the color of the stone, but it does help the lifetime of the stone. And it also helps with being able to cut it. I hope that helps a little bit. And yeah, 9:02. Awesome. Thank you all so much. That's fantastic. That's a great day. So let's do one of those. Let me do one of these real quick. So we hit 900. That's just awesome. So let me just do a quick picture. See there? No. There we go. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't know what I did. I did green screen or something. Point. Alright, no more green screen. I don't know. I haven't done green screen yet. Maybe when we do the big reveal, we'll have a green screen. Bye, Sue. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a real pleasure, and I'm very happy you put everything in the chat and asked some questions, and I hope you find something to do with the quartz you have. And yeah, good weather to you. Good weather and happy fishing. And we'd love to see some of your artwork, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is you'd like to show it with. I'm sure it's fabulous. Oh, welcome back in, Sue. It's been lovely having you. Husky, thank you. Good luck with the German Mineral Society. Try not to get signed up for too many positions. Wow, we're over 900. So everybody, welcome Sue in. Alright, I'm gonna go around the edge like I do with everything, and then we're gonna take the lid off the top there. Bringing it in. Thank you, Steve. She's been here the whole time. She's been an absolute pleasure to have in the chat and watching. So, any difficulty with this now? So it looks good all the way around, except for right here. So it does go up here and over, but I need it to have this part right here low enough that it's equal to this, if that makes any sense. Well, I could reorient them. Let's orient it a little bit more this way. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and show you. I just angled it right here, and I'm going to try and pull that angle in this way rather than this way. That's the plan. Maybe if I do it right, I'll get that seam to come down just a little bit. Wow, 900, that's fabulous. So I've made it about halfway across the stone. You can see right here. Let's do this. So, come on. So you got that angle right there, and I still want to keep bringing it. I brought it up quite a bit. Got a little ways to go. If you find what you're trying, the color, whether it's the turquoise or opal, if you find the color is not adding up to where you want to put the top of your stone, you can reorient the bottom. To give it a better chance. Might not work. But it's not impossible. Pressing pretty hard. Let's see how we did. And I don't always get it right when I do it. Okay, so this side looks pretty good. You see how now that seam is underneath this edge? So we're going to bring that down. And we're going to bring this top down. All right. I think we'll leave it on this one. Let's do it on this wheel. It's a little tough. Yeah, that's too tough. It'll take too much off, and I might make a pretty big mistake. So let's get that up like that. A little bit more like that. Welcome in, everybody who I haven't said hi to yet. I really appreciate you being here. Oscar, welcome in. Yeah, it only gives one thumbs up at a time per person. I think. I mean, maybe if some other people did it, we could figure something out that we didn't know. Wink, wink, say no more. Alright, so this is the only concern on this edge, and hopefully we'll bring it all, let's bring it down. Here we go. I'm going to start right there too. Put my water over. Yeah, if you all try double tapping, maybe we can mess with the algorithm and It'll start multiplying my likes and my subs instead. Can bring this down some. I don't have a lot to work with here on this sort of turquoise bar. And maybe even having a little bit of the matrix on the edge will make the color pop a little bit more. See how close I'm getting here? I don't like getting that close, but alright. This wheel takes a little bit longer. I see the hearts. Thank you. The hearts are great. And I think in there too, you can hit one of the other ones too. I forget what else they have in that line right there. Maybe funny faces or some other emojis you can put in there other than the hearts. So now when people think it's me on their lives, it's not necessarily me. It could be Sue too. You do? What's your suggestion, Sue? Hi, Hossein. Sharifi. Welcome in. If you haven't been here before, we do a little bit of a lapidary on this channel, so cutting and shaping rocks with the intent of one day either selling them as cabochons or silversmithing them ourselves. Freckle Cat just took up wire wrapping, and we'll see. Yeah, you're peeking it, peeking out a little bit. Just trying to bring it down a little bit more. Well, now you're going to make me want to eat an Oreo. But, Sharif, we do turquoise, opal, what else? Agates, jaspers, petrified woods. I think we can take a peek here. And then I go live on Thursday evenings and Sunday afternoon. Oh, just popped my glove. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Let's see if I can roll through that without losing it. Alright, I'm ready for a peek on this one. I think it's going to be a bit better than I thought. I thought it was going to be a little bit pale. Alright. Let me get a little camera ready. Close. Here we go. Look at that. That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. So I'm going to take out just that little extra there. You see how that seam rolls down on this edge right here? So I can bring it out a little bit, but it's going to leave a little bit of the... That's really nice. I haven't even polished it yet, so I'm going to bring this down just a little bit, I think. I might have to bring it in here. But even just doing that, I rolled it off a little bit. Let's bring that in. So bringing it in actually helps. Still got the up dip, so I don't want to go through there. Bring it in a tiny bit more. Want to see if that little mountain gets higher or lower, and it's actually going lower. What I mean, the little mountain right there. And then this I can roll off a little bit more. So the gloves last about, what, an hour and 10 minutes. Hi, Zahan. Welcome in. I don't know who got zapped. Somebody got zapped. And I don't think that was a moderator zap. So if it wasn't a moderator zap, that means it was a YouTube zap. And if it's a YouTube zap, a blue Oreo, I think that's the name for a new Oreo too, more than it is for the turquoise. But yeah, we could turn it into let's turn it into a, there you go, how about that? Here's your blue Oreo. So what are the flavors? So some people don't like working with thin seams very much. I actually really enjoy it. Some people would rather take a thin seam and cut it into ribbon. But I like to try with thin seam to see if I can get a full face out of it. Depends what you're trying to do. But I like trying to dig out a seam of something, whether it's a opal bar or a turquoise seam. Wow, that's a really nice blue. Really nice blue. So let's just move over real quick. So I don't know. Have we come up with something new? I mean, do I need to copyright that, or? I mean, we can all share the money. I have no problem with that. But so a blue Oreo with a blueberry flavor. Blueberry and chocolate goes pretty well. And, you know, we can sell it on its antitoxin stuff. Brain power, blueberry brain power. So this going around the top again. I can't bring it down too much because we'll end up going through the bar, the seam. And these sharp little edges I'm going to leave until I'm on the next three wheels as well. So let's have a look. Well, the glove's got to go. So I need a new glove. Oops. Excuse me. Back it up just a little bit. I don't know why this is playing. This is what we've done so far. We started on that other green. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Now we're going to do something new and hi, Nick. Caspanto. Let's do this. And we have the Queen of Liverpool in here too. Queen Sue. Those are really nice. And now we're going to try something a little different. This piece, I wasn't going to do it today, but it's been a great day. We went over at 900 and I was going to leave this, but we're going to do the piece today. So I have something special, I hope. This is the rough. And a few little pieces of it. So, very hard, very heavy, very jaggedy, so it's really hard to decide how to cut it. Do you chase after a little seam like this from this side or from below, or do you leave the matrix and get all the little ribbons in there? Well, I cut it. There's a little piece missing, but I cut it, and that's what I got. And that's pretty neat. That's really lovely. Look at the color on that. That color of blue, I love it. Hi Jackie, how you doing today? I'm sorry, Jackie. Yeah, I would too. We were just at the local art and festival, and I was fortunate enough to come across some really nice jewelers. They spend a lot of money. I mean, just for the booth, it was pretty cheap, but it was still $600, I think, the booth. So they have to sell $600 worth of stuff, plus their travel on top of it, plus their time. And, you know, you're talking about $1,000 that they basically have to give away of their items before they start making a profit. So please take that in mind when you go to these festivals. They're not upmarking their pieces. They're just trying to cover their costs. So that's what happened there. But then when I cut it in again, look at that. That is just, oh, that is just fantastic. So this is, I'm going to cut it because we hit 900. We're going to make it to 1,000. I have no idea when, but we're going to make it, and we'll do something special for everybody then. And let's do this. This might fall to pieces. I have zero idea. We haven't cut this before. So I'm hoping, because it was so hard, that it doesn't fall to pieces. And I got to put another glove on. Let's do another. So which side should be the top, A or B? I kind of know. Yeah, this stuff has the potential of being fantastic. So let me get another glove on. Trying to protect my hands. The water and the cold and everything isn't the nicest thing for your nails and your skin and all that kind of goodness. And yeah, if you have the ability to subscribe, that would be great. It helps. It doesn't cost anything for one, but it helps push out the channel, and it helps me. It helps more people hitting that thumbs up button. The more comments we get helps, and so this is from the people I bought it from. They named it Blue Moon. Doesn't mean we can't name each stone ourselves, or if we see some sort of shape or picture in there, we can't do it. So let's go ahead. I have no idea. I'm a little tentative on this because I really want this one to work out. So as you can hear the noise, it's a lot harder than the others, which is a good sign. Unless it's hard and fractury. So if it starts chipping off in pieces, then I'm going to get a little more worried. And I am right on this 80 grit, which is pretty harsh. I see the shape. It already spoke to me what shape it needs to be. I'm going to bring that in. And I'm hoping this doesn't fracture. Yeah, it's like dark matter, sir. Somebody got zapped again. Thank you, camper. Welcome in. Somebody's going to get in trouble from the higher ups, so it won't be me. And yes, it is a turquoise. A special turquoise, I think. And I believe it came out of Nevada. rounding up the tip right here. Okay, well, I hope they're not hiding them for no reason. Like there are certain words that YouTube will moderate by itself, and you can also add words to a list that you don't want to be included. Yeah, it's really nice. Or maybe the material's so nice that trying to slow my algorithm down there. Alright, I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. A little bit rounder. Okay, so I have that little crevice to come out, this little one here. I still got a few more on this side, but it's coming in. It hasn't fractured, which I'm really happy about. I'm going to try and bring these spuds in a little bit, as much as I can. And if they're just on the bottom corner, I may leave them and fill them in at a later date, but that's coming in. Let's get these ones out, right here and here. That's why I was a little bit worried with this material, because it is very jaggedy. Oh shoot. Excuse me. Sorry for that ride. But so yeah, the material is very jaggedy. So when you cut this, and that's the edge all the way around, to get it smooth, you got to bring that all the way in. So look how beautiful this little piece of seam is right here. But look how thin it is right there. So I may have to cut that. I may lose that. Or I could back it with something. Watch out, they'll send somebody out for you soon. Yeah, I think the alarms are extremely useful, but I wish they would change their commercial for it. It's been the same commercial for 35 years. I like both sides on this. Thank you, Cliff. I appreciate that. So look at that. That's gorgeous. So we're going to take out some of the saw marks. I'm going to go down on the back a little bit. A little bit more right there. Move over a tad like that and hit this middle wheel. And it's one feature actually said that, you know, I wish we could send photos in a chat to each other, but then at the same time, as you can see, YouTube's already cutting people out of the chat for whatever it is they said. Maybe it was rude or political or religious or whatever it happened to be. And so imagine some of the photos, if we put photos into the chat, imagine some of the photos that people would be sending in to our chat. So it's kind of hard to do it. Now, if you have another platform that you already show them on, you're quite welcome to put your name in the chat. It won't come up as a link, but it will come up. You know, people can go find you. I have no problem with that at all. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be here at all either. So I don't know if I'm gonna. This may take a little while. Trying to bring down the edge here, but I don't want to. Yeah. And then you wouldn't be able to show your face, Steve. Ever. Yeah. So yeah, there's goods and bads to moderation. We try to keep the channel as welcoming as possible. I'm just going to take down this corner. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing right there. I'm just taking that top corner down at about a 45. I'm trying to bring the girdle right here to about 6, maybe 5 millimeters. And because I'm on this wheel, it's taking a little bit longer, but I'm going to make less of a mistake if I make a mistake, hopefully. I don't want to jinx myself, but right now, this is holding together really well, extremely well. But that doesn't mean it won't crack in a second now that I mentioned it. And I am pressing pretty hard. And that's a mistake that you can make. So just because the material's harder, if you start pressing harder, it doesn't really take more material off of your stone. Actually, what it ends up doing is taking more material, more diamond off of your wheel. So this wheel is pretty worn. And if you were here earlier, we went through those other stones pretty quick. All right. Get this right. Almost all the way around the stone now. I'm glad we did this one though. I've had this for a month or two, and I've been putting it up, and I wanted to share it, but I didn't want to share it yet. But I'm glad we did it today. I mean, come on, we hit 900 subscribers, which is just fabulous. All right. It is long, but it's a very, see, it went off a little down there. But at the same time, if it's taking me a long time, I'm not going to screw it up too easily. Now we're going to start shoving off the top. Alright, let's have a quick look and then we'll dome it off. I gotta get all the saw marks out now. I think we're gonna go back one wheel to get the top off. Just to make this a little bit quicker. Here we go. Much noisier, I'm sorry, but that's the hardness and the wheel. It's a mix of both. I mean, I'm grinding stone on metal, so yeah, it makes a bit of a noise. Come on. Doing good on the thumbs up, thank you. Alright. Almost got that out. Still a little bit more to go. Somebody got that. Oh no, dang it. Well, I just put some more saw marks in it. Look at that. Alright, well, I gotta get all those out now. That hurt. So, the risk of trying to do things quicker can come back and bite you. So that serves me right for being impatient. What that does is it takes my dome away a little bit. I just popped another blow. I knew this one was going too easily. Just a little bit there, but that's not the one I just did. The one I just did is gone. So just a little bit more in the middle. That'll be good. And yeah, this one's taking a little bit longer. But some of the harder ones and the ones that take longer expose some of the nicer patterns. I gotta get off of this wheel before I make another mistake. It is not Roman. This is actually from, I believe, Nevada. I'm gonna check it out, but it is an American turquoise. Name is Blue Moon, which I'm sure there's some takeoffs already of this stuff, but I would be doubtful that somebody's been able to pull off a good fake on this one. This stuff's great. of it's the moderator, some of it's the YouTube itself. You can. Yeah, I'll show it in a second here, Sue. And get it to where I'd like it to be. Yeah, that's pretty good. Got a little bit of a crevice up here. I don't know if that'll come out. Just redoing this top girdle. It's got a few little spots in there, little bugs, and I want to get them out. They're up in this top corner here, and so I'm going to bring it in, and then we're going to roll it down, and hopefully those will disappear. And if they don't, they don't. It's okay. So I've had to heighten the girdle right here, and you can see that little bot starting right there. Get a little bit closer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hey Lance, how you doing today? So there is just that little area right here, and I can either take it all the way off. There's also one little tiny dot right there. So I'm going to bring it in and see if we can roll it down. So now my girdle's higher again than it is over here, and now I'm going to roll this down and hopefully get rid of those bots. That's the plan anyway. But not all plans come to fruition, but hopefully here we go. So let's see if we can roll that down a little. See how we did. So you see how it almost disappeared? Got a little bit left and a little one right there. So that turned out pretty good. So I can do that one more time. Same thing though. And then I'm going to roll it down again. Without forming any facets. And that's just me trying to make the stone as nice as I can. And there you go. That's pretty much gone. And then we're going to get this little one right there. We're going to get that out. Alright, move over to this last wheel. I got a lot of those too. Got a lot of those. We've done some really nice stones, so So you can go back and look at some of the older lives. They're pretty long. They go on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But you can always speed them up and do them 2 times the speed. But if you want, you can go watch the old lives, see some of the other stones that we've done. Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I just had the ring out this morning, my precious ring. Alright, I think what we're going to do, almost finish here. Not really, I don't know. Should we? Maybe we'll do this one all the way and we'll do the other ones. We'll finish up the other ones on Thursday. And we got issues in the house going on, but there's really not anything I can do about them today. So I'm gonna wait till a weekday, otherwise they'll charge me an arm and a leg. Okay, that is coming out super nice. There you go, Sue. I'll leave it up for a second if you want to do a shot real quick. Keeping the mud busy today. Yeah. Well, you can always share the videos out too, Sue. But if you want to do your screenshot, that's your screenshot right there. In fact, let me do one too. Alright, let me go around the edge real quick. I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to, maybe we'll do this one. If you want to hang out with me, I'll do one of these stones on the other 3 wheels. But it does take some more time. Or I can save them till Thursday and we can finish them off on Thursday. And maybe that's what we'll do. And then we'll do the Zam station on Thursday as well. I know that seems like a long time away. Little bots showing up. Okay, that one's gone. Okay. When I say bots or crevices, they're kind of like little caves. Bugs, some people call them little bugs. This one has a few, but not on the surface, so trying to do as many of them out of the edge as I can. But that's a beautiful stone. Yeah, it does. I just have to be really careful on when I'm polishing them that I don't get the zam or cerium or whatever it is in and stuck in it. I'm going to see if we have any metals, but I don't really see any metals. Yeah, it looks really nice. So I think, let's see. Come on, we'll go over to the other wheel, see what happens. Hold on, because I might lose you. I think. Hopefully I don't lose you. Come on. Look at that. Alright, well that wasn't bad. So this is the next three wheels. Might as well do a couple of them, huh? Oops. Hey North Star, how you doing today? I've got some gunk on here. There we go. Yeah, you asked about the zam. Oh, what did I do with that stone? And my buffer doesn't look like it has too much zam on it because I don't overload it. If you maybe I'll show you in a little bit, but when you put too much zam on, or at least this is my experience, is that when I go to polish this and you polish it this way, the zam ends up coming all the way around the bottom edge here. And I just put a little bit on at a time. I think we're going to do a couple of these, finish them up real quick, and hit the zam station too. So we're having a pretty good day so far. Alright, that is yeah, Galaxy Void. Sharp edge real quick. Hope you can see okay. I've got the other stand right here. Let's see if we can do something. How about that? That's a bit better. Yeah, you gotta have stands all over the place, and I got the phone in front of my face. So you guys be able to see that probably more than I do. Need to. And I'm thinking in the long run it might even help me be able to cut stones from memory, if that makes any sense. Starting to creep in right there. Well, that was good. That was just me burning myself on the wheel. Doesn't actually hurt. It didn't. Well, did it cut me? No, it didn't cut me. But it took off a little bit. So it's more of a shock. And there I am saying I can do it without. So here I am saying now I can do it without having to look. And I go and burn my finger. And it only burns because it's dry. If it was wet, that probably wouldn't have happened. Well, you know, I know people watch some channels just hoping the worst to happen. So we haven't done any. We haven't done any of the furnace sniffing yet and smelting. I'm afraid if I do it live, you know, I'll drop a silver on my foot or something. But I did go and look at the rolling mill. So I do a couple of commissions here and there for a local jeweler. And he's got a big Durston rolling mill. Hey. Well, it's either Durston or Pepe, I forget. But it's a big one. I think 140 millimeter one. And it's got a little side piece to do half round wire on it too. So I did look at it the other day, and I'm gonna have to melt me down some ingots, and then he said I could go live in there too. So I don't want to show off the whole jewelry store, but maybe we can show me trying to make a long piece of wire or something using some of the silver and sterling that I've picked up at estate sales over the years. But I'm gonna have to clean it up, gonna have to melt it, get it into a nice ingot size, and then yeah, maybe we can pick you into the store. It's funny how that lightened up right there, and it's pretty nice. Okay, so that's the so much for my gloves. Alright, we're at 96 thumbs up. So let me just turn a little bit more. I don't know if you can see there. Right about there maybe. And this is the 3000 wheel. Which should give it a decent polish before going to the Zam. Hey, if anybody's out there that has any questions about machinery or equipment, or maybe how we're actually shaping these stones, go ahead and put it in the chat. That's what we're there for. And if I don't know the answer, there might be somebody in the chat that can help. We had Husky in earlier, and I know they're in a lot of the other chats that we find ourselves in, and Husky just joined the local lapidary Gem and Mineral Society, which usually is somewhere close, unless you live way out in the boonies. There are Gem and Mineral Society clubs around the whole country. And it's a good way to find out if you're going to enjoy doing lapidary or if it's just a one-off or not. What were we talking about last night? The Last Stand or something like that. It was a football movie. So locally, I don't know if we can talk about it. I better not talk about it. It's a new law locally for the state, and one of my friends happened to see one in one of the supermarkets, and yeah, it's probably just best not to talk about it on this particular. Who you calling a pony boy? So this is pretty much dry for the hearts. And that's slightly wet. I'm trying to do it. There you go. So no scratches. Really nice color. Little dots of matrix. Very happy with that one. Let's do the greenery one. So I think what we'll do is do this green one, then we'll do the blue moon, hit the Zam station, and that should do it. Yeah. Let's see if I can focus in a little bit better for you. That one's a Kingman. It's the smoky blue Kingman. It is stabilized. Really nice stuff though. You can get the stuff that has a thick enough seam in it, like that one. It's really nice. I gotta remember, this stuff is much softer. This is the Gaspeite. I don't think it's Canadian Gaspeite. I think it was McKay Anderson that maybe found this one. It's really quick. Nice stuff though. All right, thanks for the 100 thumbs up. That's amazing. I'm actually a little astounded, but thank you all. I've had a really good time today, actually. New people in the chat, and some of the old people coming back in the chat. So it's really nice to see you all. And thank you for spending some of your Sunday with me. And if you are new to the channel, if you hit the subscribe, it's free, and hit the notification bell, you will see when I come on live, which is usually Thursdays and Sundays. And depending on what's going on during the week, I might pop on live in between. Which actually, talking about that jeweler, I have a small commission to do for him this week, so I've got to make sure I don't forget that. And that's a teeny little piece of turquoise that I have to put into a ring. This has a really odd setting, so maybe I'll go live on Monday or Tuesday when I do it. It's still actually bouncing around in my brain of how I'm going to tackle it, because it is a very odd shape. So I have to make a shape that almost looks like a piece of toast. Round on the top and then straight on the sides. And sort of where the crust is, except for where the bottom of the crust would be on a piece of toast, is where it's polished. So all three of those sides, top and the two sides, have to be polished. And then the two sides that are on the flat side of the piece of toast, where you would put your jam or your butter or whatever it is you put on your toast, that's actually what gets glued in and set into the ring. So I'm sure I just didn't explain that very well, but I might come on live when we do that. Depends on how the plumbing does inside this week. I'm hoping it's an easy fix, but you don't know until the plumber gets here. Yeah, it's just there's actually 3 stones in there, North Star. It's just tiny. And he always gives me the difficult stuff to do, because none of the other jewelers will do it. So, you know, he takes care of his customers if that's what the customer, because it's just a silver setting, and it's to me it's not the most spectacular ring, but it means something to somebody, so they're willing to spend the money to get it fixed. And I think we can all understand that about a few of the things that we have. Maybe they were passed down from your mom or your dad or brother or sister, or a friend gave them to you, and they can be important sometimes. So it doesn't matter the money that they spend to fix it. All right, bingo! Look at that. That's pretty. I like the little bit of matrix that's in there. Look at that color. It's spectacular right there. So that's 2. I think we'll do. Well, this is going pretty quick. Who knows? Maybe we'll do more. It's got to be careful. I under the sink and everything with wrenches and screwdrivers and pulling up carpet, and I'm going to be careful that I don't screw up my back too much. Which right now it's fine, but I do too much. I got to spend a little bit of time on these 3 wheels with this one, because this one was a little bit harder. We're going to do this 4 ways on this one. We're doing the wiggle waggle on this side. I'm going to turn it around. Do the same thing on the other side. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. We've had a pretty good time today. Or I have, anyway. Most people haven't been zapped in the chat, which is good. We've had a few taken out by YouTube and a couple taken out by the mods. So keeping Miss Freckle Cat on her toes. Yeah, I should put it on. I have it, you know. I wasn't expecting to be out here for quite this long today. What are we at? 2 hours? But part of the reason that I do this at all is to get away from the things that I can't do too much about. Around the girdle, get the back a little bit. Yeah, I saw that, North. I'll probably be there. I'll be off of here by then. But with the plumbing situation, I don't think I'll be buying too much today. If anything, I don't think I'll be buying today. I'm spending a little extra time on this wheel so I don't have to go back when I get to the 3000. Trying to concentrate on this one. I really like this stone a lot. It does have a couple of little bugs on the side girdle and the bottom edge corner, so I have to be really careful with that and then decide if I'm going to take them out in the long run. So I got one right there, so I could take that in a bit more, but I don't want to lose the shape. I like the shape. It's low enough where if set it would come over the top of that, so you can see the little valleys in there, and that's just because that was that first piece that got cut. I can do that back just a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I will. Because I can always come back to it, you know, like, that's the great thing about lapidary is you can give it the shape you want, the height that you want, and if you're unsure, you know, don't do it. Just wait, save it, finish it up, and if it really bugs the hell out of you at some point, or somebody that wants to buy the stone would like you to cut it out and lose some of the face, then You can always come back to something. Excuse my language. Let's get that edge. I think we're good on this. We're going to move over. There we go. Alright, so I don't know what the record for the likes is for me. It's like 110, 115, something like that. I can't believe 5 people come in and watch me. I really appreciate it. And I don't put music on right now. I'm not monetized. And if I ever did get monetized, I don't want to lose out on some of the content when that happens. So I'm just trying to play by all the rules. And when I'm not playing by the rules, or you guys aren't, then YouTube tells us. And it does. And I don't like to take all the character out of something. I mean, that's why most of my shapes are freeform, even though sometimes they're a little wonky in my brain. I mean, I do like some symmetry, but it doesn't have to be completely symmetrical and calibrated perfectly. And I'm always keeping a silversmith in mind when I'm cutting stones. Trying to make it as easy for them on that end as I can. Get that back one more time. Hi everybody, welcome in. If you haven't been in till now, we did some Kingman, little couple of pieces of Kingman, a piece of Gaspeite, one of the Sam turquoises, which I believe is from Mexico, and then right now we're finishing off this piece of Blue Moon, which is absolutely amazing in my thoughts here. I was very unsure before cutting this how this was going to turn out. A little skeptical. It started out looking like that. If you can see the vein in there, but look how snaggly that is. So I didn't know if it was going to break apart or not. Right now it's done really well. That's the back. And there's the front. Alright, wow, look at that color over here. Wow. Alright. I think we can move on to this last wheel. Right about there. That's 3. We could go to the ZAM station, leave it at that, or I could finish up at least another piece, I think. Making this live pretty long. But if you do come back and watch the live on a replay, you go ahead, put it in 2 times the speed. It does make it a bit shorter. Surprisingly, my voice isn't too annoying in 2 times the speed, and you can still understand what I'm doing and saying. And then also, you can always put the caption on it. It'll close caption it for you if you want it. And you can either turn the volume up if you like it, or you can turn the volume down if you don't. I think we're going to leave it with these 3. We'll get these down on the ZAM station and finish up the other ones another time. Going over everything we've done up till now. Repeating the process. Get the back. So I have to be careful with this piece that I don't get all the wax stuck in it. I did too, Steven. It's actually become one of those soothing sounds in our household. So it's funny if I'm if I'm watching YouTube, the family never know if it's actually me out on the wheels or if it's something I'm doing a replay of. But it has become a sound that is familiar and soothing at the same time. Almost meditative. Alright. We do one more? Alright, we got two good blues. Wow, that blues. I don't think I've ever seen a turquoise with that kind of blue. And it's not dyed. So let's do the zoned one. So we'll do two greeners. This one shouldn't take too long. Thanks to everybody that's new here. Really appreciate you coming in. I know we could be doing other things with the family, or lunch, or football, or just taking a walk, which you should do all those things as well, because they're also very important. And if you can't stay for long today, if you go ahead, subscribe, and hit that little dingling bell thingamajiggy. It will notify you of when I come on live. Oh, that's really nice on the back too. Really nice picture on the back. Look at that. So that's definitely open back pendant. Sorry, I started staring into the sky there. And I want to thank everybody that came in new today also, that was in the chat. Very kind of you. Interesting to hear about some of your lives out there in the world. St. Thomas, we're all coming to St. Thomas, that's what we're doing. So if everybody wants to pack their bags, we can all meet up down in Miami or something. Sue, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around for so long today. It was really interesting chatting with you. And good luck with the courts. And hopefully you'll come join us in another one, please. And I wonder if we can figure out how we're going to get to see some of your arts and crafts that you do. But thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you can pretty much comment in any of my videos, and I usually answer all of them. I do answer all of them. Back from one more time. I'm going to move over. Two more to go. Thank you, bye, sir. So you can tell I'm Getting a little tired just from, I'm only using one hand, which isn't the smartest thing to do. Let me go back in. You can do it, but it can fly off, and when it flies off quick. And you spend another half an hour, 45 minutes looking for it on the floor. Okay, one last time around this girdle. This one turned out much nicer than I thought too. Had a couple of good surprises today, actually, with the material. Any extra thumbs up would be nice. Not required. Just beneficial to me. Alright, we're almost done with this. The 1200 grit. Go around again. Get that outer edge. Thank you for that. And we hit over 900 subs today, which is just fabulous. Really fabulous. And when we hit that 1,000, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. And the quicker we get there, the less time you give me to think about it. But we'll figure something out, because that'll be quite the goal to go past, the milepost to go past. Guess we could show you, huh? That would help. I'm on the 3,000, which gives it a little bit of a polish. Some people take it on to 8,000, 14,000, and 50,000. With turquoise, that should be enough for us to go over to the ZAM station and finish it up over there. Let's do a quick dry check. And we're looking pretty good. A little bit on the top there, but I think that's the matrix. That's not my polishing, that's just the matrix in there. And the ZAM should help with that a little bit. So, let's see what we've done today. Take that off. We can turn that off. There we go. See, when I turn it off, it makes me very sleepy. I need to get something to drink right here. So today, I got two more roughs that we gotta do on probably Thursday. So those are the roughs. But in total today, we did 6. And they look lovely. They look fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. What a great day. So now we're going to go over to the ZAM station and just finish up the polish on that. So if you don't mind holding on for a second, we're going to try and do this without losing you. Hasn't really happened, but it could. So here we go. Oh, shoot. Come on. There you go. Alright, all it did was volume. Nip over here real quick, think. Whoa, what's going on? Let's turn the volume up a little. Let's back you out, because that's a little close for both of us. Bring you in. Alright, and here comes the best part. Not the best part, fun part though. So it's my little buffer wheel. Got a motor on the back, I think it's 1750 RPM. And I'm going to dry these up just a tad. And North Star, if you're still there, I have had this SAM now for, shoot, it's over a year. And I don't put a lot on. I'm going to put a little bit on. And I'm going to do the pieces that I know are flush for sure, so that we don't get any of the wax in the stone. And then we'll go on to the ones that have the little bugs and bugs, and hopefully we don't get too much. So I literally just go around the edge. I don't do a lot. Just taking some off, but not too much. And that's it. So let's get the stones. I'm going to start with this one because this one doesn't really have any bugs in it. I like to start with the back as a test, but this one, I say that, but this one doesn't have any turquoise in the back. So, but even the matrix is polished up, and then I go around the edges. So it's a wax, Steven, so it's kind of hard. It might a little bit. It definitely helps with cerium and powders, but this is a wax, so I'm not sure a wax in like a jewelry cleaner is necessarily going to come out. I mean, that's just my thinking. But yeah, the ultrasonics work on some things, so they do help with cerium powder. If you get your cerium powder in a bug or a little hole or a crevice, but I'm not sure it would work with a wax, because the wax, you know, adheres to the stone, sticky almost. And I do use a little small ultrasonic. Alright, let me just do one more on this, and then we'll take a look at this one. This one's lovely. Turned out really nice. So, not so pretty on there. Turn her over. Look at that. Really nice polish on that one. All the way across. See how the light doesn't dance over the top, even going over that matrix. It doesn't really change. So really nice. Get a quick pick of that. Yeah. Lost it. I gotta do this. Sorry about that. Well, that screwed things up, but it's okay. Let's do... I'm gonna do the Gaspeite next, because this one doesn't have any bugs in it, and so the ZAM should be pretty good with this one. So we just do a quick test on the back. I almost want to have this stuff sent off, so you can see the wheel marks where I didn't finish the back. And you can see where the wax got in there. And that's just with the little amount of wax that I put on there. So the top will be better, but you can see where it polishes over here. So it'll be fine. But I will have to go back, and just because I'm me, I will have to finish that back. Just going around all the edges. And if you have a flat surface, the ZAM will come right off. You can push it off or polish it off even with your fingers. Alright, so we got a few minutes because that was the plumber. And I gotta give him a call back. So, really want to thank everybody for coming in today. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Now look at that. That's nice. That is pretty. So I'm very happy with that one. Let's move over to the other greener. The turquoise one. A lot of matrix, but some really cool patterns. I'm gonna go ahead. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. And we'll pop in and see what you're up to tonight. Alright, this is the back. And that's polishing very nicely. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very happy. Thank you. I'm just happy anybody comes in to watch it all. Like I always say, I'd be out here cutting and polishing anyway. So for me to be able to help you guys learn something and me learn something from you guys is just, you know, what a fabulous situation to be in. Alright, let me get the top. I like both sides of this stone. And we got one more after that, and then we will be done. Here we go, you ready? Oh, well, the plumber just got back from the Bahamas. So, I'm sure he's got a million phone calls. That's really nice. Very, very nice piece. A little different, this one, but I really like that. Alright, let's do the last one. I'm not even going to re-exam it. It looks really nice already. So if I have to, I can come back in and re-polish the surface if this doesn't sam up very well. It does have a few little bugs in it. Like right there. So I'm going to do this really softly. Let's do the back. See how we do. I imagine this is going to get caught a little bit. Okay, it didn't, and it polished up really nice. So that's the back. And trying to avoid that little bug right there. And do the side there. And turn it over to this side, and that way I didn't really hit that crevice. And I'm going to go around the rest of the stone on the edge. Then we're going to hit the top, and we will be done. Yeah, the rock community, the jewelry resellers have been fantastic, Steve. My experience with everybody on YouTube has just been fabulous. That's my word for the day, fabulous. May come up at another time. Alright, we are doing the top. I'm just going to do it like I normally would, and hopefully with a little encouragement, this will work out nicely. So this is the first piece of Blue Moon that I've cut. I have a little bit more to do. And here we go. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow. That's lovely. Look at that. That's gorgeous. What a gorgeous piece. Look at the color on that. That's just gorgeous. Alright, everybody. I'm so happy with that. So we got a little less than 100 to go on the subscribers. We'll hit 1,000. And something will happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen. Let's turn this off real quick. And we'll show what we did today. So, very happy with all these. These two still need to get polished off. But they're so slippery I can't turn my hand. But yeah, fabulous. Or as David would say, fantastic. I'm very, very happy. So thank you all. You have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't let the bus get to you too much. We will see you Thursday for sure, around 5:30. And keep an eye out because I might go live before that. So have your subscription notification on, and it will notify you within a minute of me going live. I really do appreciate you here. I feel quite honored. Thank you for getting me to 900. Thank you for getting me to 100 thumbs up today. What a great day. And we're going to have a good week. So see you Thursday. In the meantime, take care of each other. And most of all, take care of yourselves. Cheers now.